A lot of you in my last video about psychiatric service dogs have asked how to teach some of the disability cues. So I decided to make a quick series on how to teach a lot of these very common disability cues. And so for this lesson, we're going to focus on teaching your dog to apply pressure to help ground you in situations where you might feel anxious or you might feel uncomfortable. Basically, any situation that you need to help kind of ground you down. Before we get into it though, be sure to give this video a like and a subscribe. And for those of you who don't know me, I am a certified professional dog trainer and I have helped hundreds and hundreds of pups and their parents live more peaceful lives together. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into how to teach your dog how to provide deep pressure therapy. So I do want to mention that there are a few variations of providing deep pressure therapy. One is simply a chin rest like Dodger doing right now right here. Boy. The second is my favorite, which is a full body lay down. And then the third is getting your dog to provide deep pressure therapy by stepping onto your feet, having their paws on top of your feet to help ground you. So the first way of teaching deep pressure therapy is to teach your dog a basic chin rest. So all you're gonna do is take a tasty treat. You're gonna guide their nose down. The second it touches your leg, you're gonna say yes to mark and then give them the treat. Now, Dodger just naturally does this anyway, but he is a little bit more hesitant to do a chin rest just because it irritates his mouth. So you always want to make sure that your dog has a clean bill of health so that the reason why your dog isn't doing something isn't necessarily because they just don't want to listen to you. It could be because of pain. So with Ziggy, I'll show you gently on my hand and you can see he still does it, but he's almost like leaning his head a little bit to the right because his left side is the one that hurt. Now, people do always ask me in my videos, why aren't you saying the word? I explain this more on how to train your dog in my free webinar, how to get your dog to listen without treat and get them excited to listen to you. But quickly, let me explain. When you're luring a dog, the food is really all they see in the beginning. So we want to quickly fade out that lure, make it into a hand signal, and then attach a word to it. What happens when we attach a word in the beginning is something called blocking happens, which means that your dog doesn't really hear anything. It's kind of like if you're playing a video game and you're really into it and someone starts talking to you, you might not really hear what they're saying. When we're luring, they're so focused on that treat that they're not going to hear what we're saying anyway. And we want to use words as little as possible because we want our words to really have meaning and effect, especially since dogs are not verbal communicators. So that's not something that stands out to them naturally. So with this chin rest, like I said, we're luring our dogs. Yes. Marking when they do it. Then the next round, I'm going to use no treats, right? So see no treats in my hand and kind of lure him down. Yes. Then slowly move to even less of a hand signal, right? Yes. Then once our dog is doing it regularly, then I can say rest. Pause for a second to give a moment to think. Then do the hand signal. Yes. Then after enough repetitions, hopefully with enough repetitions, then your dog will just get the word alone. So next, let's talk about how to teach your dog how to lay down on you to provide that very extra deep pressure therapy. And this is my favorite. To start, I'm gonna bring my legs out just to make the height that they're laying down on less intense, because it's gonna be weird for your dog at first probably to lay down on this weird surface. It's probably not as comfortable as laying down on the floor. So what I'm gonna do is just first reinforce my dog for just walking across. Good. Next, you're going to kind of lure your dog into a down. And I should mention that your dog knowing down is a prerequisite. Oh, there you go. So I take my treat and I almost like push it towards him. You can even try saying down if that helps. Down. Yes. Okay, so to teach the down, I kind of like push him into that down position. If your dog is hesitant to lay down, you can try practicing on a different surface first and just work on reinforcing successive approximations. So what that means is essentially if your dog slightly crouches down, you reinforce him, then you reinforce him for maybe going down halfway. And so you're breaking up the full behavior into little pieces because some dogs are a little bit hesitant to lay down on you. Now to build duration on this, I'm going to continue giving him treats and then say, okay, free, for letting him know that he's free. And then I can slowly kind of decrease the amount of treats he's getting. So I might have to continuously feed him at first, but then slowly I might wait like 2 seconds. Good. Then a little bit longer. Then I can work on other ways of reinforcing him. Like if your dog likes massages, you can maybe pair this with massages. Good boy. Then you can start adding your word. Pressure. Yes. So if I was shaping his down, that part where he sticks his booty up, I would still reinforce him.
Quick bonus tip. So you can use environmental cues so that you don't have to verbally cue your dog. For example, here I am pretending to cry because I am trying to transfer over that whenever I am crying that I would like deep pressure therapy. Here's how to teach a new environmental cue, also called a cue transfer. Simply just do the new cue that you want, so in this case, crying. From there, you'll pause to allow your dog to think and prevent blocking. Then cue your dog verbally or with a hand signal, and then reinforce. You're gonna keep practicing until your dog connects that the new environmental cue means they should perform the behavior. Okay, let's move on to the last version of deep pressure therapy that we'll cover.
So one of my favorite ways to teach a dog how to stand on your feet is by starting in a sitting position and then reinforcing your dog anytime they start putting one foot on first, or one paw on your foot first, and then the second paw on your foot. So let me show you what that looks like. So if you start with sitting, it's easier to lure your dog onto your feet. Yes! So I'm reinforcing small approximations towards the final behavior. Right now, he just barely touched my foot. Yes! 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 Good boy! Yay! Good boy! Good boy! And keep in mind that this is hard for your dog to do because it requires balance. Yes! Good boy! Good boy!
From there, you'll move on to standing and make sure that your dog is even physically able to do it first because, like I said, it does take balance. And you'll see Ziggy is a little bit confused here at first, but he gets one foot onto my paw, one paw onto my foot. I keep saying the opposite. And I say yes and reinforce that. You'll see the more and more I practice, the faster and faster Ziggy gets. Now he's putting one paw on right away. So now the next step is to keep going until he gets two paws onto me. Another technique is to start to tickle the back of your dog's paw like this. From there, you keep practicing until your dog gets amazing at it.
Let me know what you want to see next in the comments below, as I'll be making a lot more of these tutorials. If you feel like something isn't clicking, or your dog isn't following the lure, or you're just having trouble with any of this training, it may be that you're trying to train on a weak foundation and you need to really work on the basic skills first of getting your dog to want to listen to you and is excited to listen to you. If that's the case, you'll want to sign up for my free on-demand webinar, How to Get Your Dog to Want to Listen to You Even When You Don't Have Treats. I'll include a link to sign up below. All right, that's it for today, everyone. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.